Well, yikes, in 2018 we would receive Battlefield 5 and, well... The hate for Battlefield 5 immediately swarmed in before the game even came out, simply from a trailer, where in our historically accurate World War II game, we have a woman with a mechanical arm, a barbed cricket bat, beating a German. She might as well look like... Now listen, I don't care when women are fighters in game. I actually think it's important to see them, for example, in games like Halo, or Modern Combat game where that is a thing. But taking a real life event that almost the whole world suffered over and disgracing it like this is not a great look. Another issue arose when one of the war stories by the name of Nordules told the story of a one-woman army and her mother who go against all odds to stop the Germans' production of a nuclear weapon. When in reality, this story did really happen, but instead it was a small group of male Norwegian commandos who actually did the operation so quietly that not a single shot was taken during the operation. Now this issue is that not only are you completely spitting in the face of the real story of the soldiers that did take place in this story, but you are also disgracing the acts of valor in the stories that women who actually did fight in World War II almost completely ignored them. For example, the women who fought in the resistance, the women snipers of the Red Army, or the British women who worked as anti-aircraft, which are all different scenarios you could easily tell a story about. Now a lot of issue came from this trailer, as if you continue watching it, you can see that DICE at this point was going for a more Call of Duty skin-like moment of war all over the place with absurd combat movement. You might as well have shown me this instead of... Now, beside the trailer taking the cake of goofiness, I actually did attempt to play the game, and I did actually come back to the game a couple of times. In my opinion, the issues were this. The game at launch only covered the early years of World War II, meaning the only two factions there was the British versus the Germans. The maps, while very cool looking, were just plain boring, and it didn't feel like the combat was really a battle. Like, I could have gotten the same value out of the maps if they were just random team deathmatch battles in one area. And because of this lack of content, I got bored of Battlefield 5 really fast, and seeing the different skins instead of grounded World War II soldiers kinda threw me off. It would take Battlefield 5 almost a year to even add more content, and they would eventually add the Pacific Theater, which was really epic because I feel like I haven't witnessed that warfare in a video game since Call of Duty World at War. Coming back to Battlefield 5 for this add-on was honestly really fun. The maps were good, the chaos was there. Once again, things got old, and so I moved on. And to this day, we still don't have anything for the European theater involving Italy, the Russians, or even Americans and their invasion of Western Europe, which honestly is a big bummer, as I was excited to see a Battlefield step foot back into World War II, as it was almost 9 years since we saw a World War II game, as Battlefield 1943 came out for console in 2009. And so from here, as a studio, in order to stay alive, DICE would have had to go somewhere, right? And honestly, after the atrocity of Battlefield 5, it couldn't get any worse. Right?